to, well, this is the way it's always been. I'm going to do this because this is the way it was taught to me, and this is the way I'm always going to do it. Okay, well, you have free will. God gave you the opportunity to do whatever you want to do. And it's not punishment if you do it wrong. It's just that if you miss the mark, there are consequences. You don't get the mark if you miss the mark, right? So it's not a punishment. It's just like, no, you got to, there are some directions to follow if you want to get to a particular location, right? So, and in that case, our directions are to be still, to stop, to get quiet, to pray, to take that time to offer gratitude, to ask for whatever it is we think we may need to ask for, and then to be still and listen. Be still and know, right? But you know when you're still because you get quiet so you can hear. And sometimes that hearing will come in the form of actual words. I've had that. But often and most of the time, it will just come in the form of kind of this vibration or this warmth right in the center of your being, where you feel comforted, where you know that there is this loving being that is there with you, and you're good. You're good, right? I mean, the question comes in on free will versus divine will, and we've talked about that. Divine will is God's will. Now, God's will, when I put it in that term, there was a moment that I felt kind of a weighted thing to that, because that's been used in the past as an excuse to punish people, right? It's like, well, you're not doing God's will, so I'm going to, you know. But that's just this confused thought of needing to control people, right? So that's an ego-driven thought. So you can already start forgiving those people. You can forgive them because they don't know any better. Right? But I know God, and who is God? God is love. Like the purest form of love that we will probably never really know the full extent of while we're in this human form. Another description, I listen to a lot of Abraham Hicks, as I've mentioned before, and she really speaks, instead of using the word God often, she talks about collective consciousness. About this collective consciousness of all life that ever has been and ever will be. This pure form of all that's right there, that wants the very best for you. That is God's will. That is divine will. It's there and it's ready for you at all time. You just have to say yes to it, each one of us individually. And it's cool. Sometimes we're going to say no because it's like, there's this lesson I think I really need to get hold of that I'm not clear on. So I'm going to do this thing, right? And then it's like, okay, I got that lesson. Except often we're like, oh, this really bad thing happened. And you didn't get the lesson because you know, it's like the second you're centered on the bad thing that happened, you're like, wait, but there was something good for you to learn here. Apparently you're going to stay here for a little while and take this lesson a few more times. We often do that in romance, right? You find that when you finally get it, you realize you dated the same person over and over with different face. And then you're like, oh my God, I finally got it. Let me go this totally different direction. So that's what we're looking at. There is this pure form of love that is in existence, that always has been, that always will be, that is this powerful presence that wants the very best for you and makes the very best available for you all day, every day. All you have to do is stop and receive it, and then be willing to reflect that light out into the world by knowing that God will take care of me. Doesn't matter what's in front of me, God is taking care of me. Come on, God, let's go do this thing. Let's go do this thing. I'm willing to reflect my light out into my life, my world, and my affairs. So go do that today and enjoy yourselves. God bless.
Thank you, Reverend Wally. That was great. Now we're going to sing about it. it is in heaven. Thy will be done. Thy kingdom come. Let my hands be used to build and not destroy. Let my words speak truth to every girl